Federal House of Representatives, and all the 36 state houses of assembly. You can watch NTA Parliament on NTA Star Times DDT platform. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
My name is DK Berry Charles. I'm from Agata local government area, Anambra State. I'm privileged to be one of the beneficiaries of this Empower and Health. To be specific, I'm a graduate of Human Anatomy.
My name is Abubakar Musa Sufi. I'm from Kano State, Fagge local government. I study in Kano State University of Science and Technology as a food scientist.
Applied for the Empower program, but I was reluctant because of the way that things have been going in this country. You know, is based on who you know, based on favoritism, your godfather, or maybe nepotism, religion, and ethnic stuff like that. So when we went there in Fagge local government, it was not based on maybe religion or ethnicity, but it was surely based on merit. Once you have your credential on ground, you are good to go.
I must testify that it is free of any form of nepotism.
Yeah, Modena. Do you have Java? Yes. And Abdullah? Yes, sir. Black or white? Yamala. Have I ever eaten white amala here before? Yes, sir. Give me amala and abula. Do you have dodo? Dodo 2 grams. Good. Let me have some dodo. I want you to put the meat in a bowl. Shaki, suku, abodi. I like my edo to be very tender. You have stockfish? Yes, sir. Good. Let's have some stockfish. And catfish, my favorite. Don't mind them. You have eggs. I would like 6 boiled eggs. No eggs. Okay, catfish will do. And then rice. Rice and then some salad. Look. Do you have a guru?
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority.
What we are doing today here further goes to underscore what President Muhammad Buhari is doing for our country.
Federal government looks inward on lead and zinc processing in Nigeria.
And I can tell you, my people cannot wait to cast their ballots for him.
It's all set for presidential campaign of the All Progressives Congress in Uyo.
We will not tolerate the complicity of staff with political actors or their agents to subvert the electoral process.
INEC warns staff against compromise during 2019 election process. And correspondence on sectoral review of performance in the outgoing year. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Juma Yusuf. Tonight is Dotun Ogunyemi from Lagos reading with me, and we have Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachuku from Kaduna. The presidency has described the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar's criticism on the 2019 budget proposal as a poor attempt, high on rhetoric but low on real solutions, since issues referred to were already highlighted in President Muhammadu Buhari's budget speech with detailed explanation. Work on the construction of
However, from the 2016-2017 economic recession makes it clear that Atiku does not understand the simple meaning of recession despite positive GDP growth. A careful look at Atiku's statement will show that there's nothing original about his identified realities. For instance, a look at the budget speech will show that the president specified a number of actions to tackle revenue weakness, including strengthening ongoing efforts at tax collection, liquidation of recovery assets, immediate recovery of past due oil royalty charges, and deployment of national trade window to improve customs collections. The statement further says it is laughable that Atiku's criticism was that there's little evidence to show that increased investment in agriculture has yielded positive results. Even the worst adversaries of the Buhari administration would acknowledge that significant progress has been made in the agriculture sector. The PDP presidential candidate also criticized high capital budget of 30% without acknowledging the high capital expenditure over the past two budget cycles continuing into the current 2018 budget cycle. Yet, Atiku is quiet about his plans to raise capital expenditure and reduce current spending.
Now, work on the construction of lead and zinc processing plant has commenced in Uburu community in Ebonyi State to check illegal exportation of the raw materials. Minister of State for Mines and Steel Development, Abubakar Bawa Buhari, who performed the groundbreaking of the project, is optimistic that timely completion will generate jobs and revenue for the government and local population.
Something that is there to this community and something that is there to our diversification agenda. This, what we are doing today here, further goes to underscore what President Muhammad Buhari is doing for our country.
Of mining, because we know with our ability and capacity and interest and commitment, we are very, very, very sure, sir, that you will make a difference and we will help you to make a difference.
In continuation of our sectoral review for the year 2018, Mayor Ogidi takes us down memory lane on some landmark events in the environment sector.
The Ogoni cleanup remains a treasured project for the Environment Ministry, and the year 2018 saw a great deal of its success, as about $180 million was received as contribution from the federal government, oil companies, and development partners. The government of United Kingdom and the National Assembly of Nigeria embarked on the spot assessment of the project as work commences, and they were impressed with the strides recorded so far.
Our government is still committed to the 1 billion, which is going to be 200 million every year for 5 years.
It was really not the best of times for the environment sector, as the unwanted yearly guest visited. The 2018 flood was quite devastating. Literally, top government officials relocated their offices to the waters, as the welfare of the victims became paramount.
So here to assess the damage and see what can be done to help those of you who have lost their assets, people who have lost farmlands and all of that.
The banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja, played host to some of the best brains in the environment sector, as the federal government renewed its commitment to address the issue of plastic waste management on the occasion of the World Environment Day 2018. With the signing of the amended NESRA Act of 2018, the agency is empowered to carry out emission tests on both vehicles and generating sets from the 1st of January 2019.
The enforcement of this is not just NESRA alone. We are going to work closely with Federal Road Safety, VIO, to make it very national.
President Muhammadu Buhari led a high-powered delegation to Poland for the Climate Change Conference, COP24, where he made a case for the recharging of the Lake Chad and the country's commitment to reduce gas emission.
Call on the international community to support this worthy project for the benefit of over 40 million people that depend on the Lake Chad for their livelihood and to guarantee future security of the region.
The environment sector ended the year 2018 on royal note as the then Minister of State for Environment Ibrahim Usman Jubril was selected as the Emir of Nasarawa. The president thereafter appointed the then Minister of State too for Power, Works and Housing, Suleiman Hassan, to take over the Ministry of Environment as substantive minister.
I expect absolute cooperation for us to be able to get the targets which our principal, President Muhammadu Buhari, desires for this country from this particular sector.
Mayor Okede, NTA News.
Just like engines need constant servicing to perform optimally, so do effective training enhance and forces service delivery. This is why the Nigerian Air Force constantly engages its personnel to keep fit and be up to date through training and welfare defense. Correspondent Olajide Bello takes a look at capacity building and welfare for Nigerian Air Force personnel in 2018.
The human being is the most important in every organization, and including the military. And unless the human being has what it takes to perform the task you are assigning to him, he or she will not be able to do a good job.
From training on the newly acquired Super Mishak aircraft to unmanned area vehicle, special forces training, basic fighter training, and the list goes on. The Nigerian Air Force in 2018 engaged officers and men in various capacity building programs and exercises for optimum performance.
The first set of Nigerian Air Force personnel to be trained on the newly acquired Super Mishak aircraft graduated in Kaduna, 18 of them. Some out of that number are going to fly with the United States Air Force now for basic fighter training. And of course, in addition to that, we have also done in-house training of UAV pilots. Of course, we have the graduation of 7 pilots in Kano that completed the basic fighter training. Right now, as I speak to you, they have finished their ground school on the Alpha Jet, and they are going to start flying. Some of them are likely going to fly. They are going to Morocco. The Moroccans are supporting us slots for training.
What other efforts have the Nigerian Air Force put in place for training in counterinsurgency operations in line with international best practices?
So capacity building, an international air power seminar which was organized by the Nigerian Air Force, where in November, where we invited others who have been in this, who have faced similar problems that we are facing today, from Pakistan, from Turkey, from Morocco, and other from the US, from UK, and many other countries of the world to come and share with us their experiences.
Personal welfare is one other aspect that the force is placing premium on.
We have provided accommodation for hundreds of families of our personnel in different units all over the country. We have also ensured that we have hospitals that our personnel can go to, hospitals that are comparable to private hospitals. There is no machine that you get in any private hospital that is not in the Air Force hospital. In addition to that, our secondary schools. Our personnel have children and dependents that go to schools. So we have renovated most of our schools.
All these, many says, have been making positive impact in the force and has contributed to the successes being achieved in the counter-insurgency war, as well as the strive to ensure peace in various places where bandits and other criminal activities are reported. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The Nigerian police force, through joint efforts with the Nigerian Air Force, has arrested 2 principal suspects and 3 others in connection with the death of former Chief of Defence Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Badi. The police, however, declined parading the suspects as it has been the tradition, saying it can lead to security breach as investigation has been intensified.
I equally want to add for the public to know that the investigation into the killing is being intensified to arrest other suspects at large. It is of significant note for the public to equally be aware that the parade of these 2 principal suspects and the 3 other gang members will not come up so as not to jeopardize the ongoing investigation. All the suspects will be paraded before the media and the public on the completion of investigation into this matter.
The chief of the air staff had earlier disclosed the synergy with relevant security agencies to ensure perpetrators of the crime are brought to justice. It would be recalled that the former chief of defense staff was killed on the evening of Tuesday, December 18, 2018, while returning from his farm along Abuja-Kefi Road. Now, the Chairman Presidential Advisory Committee on the Elimination of Drug Abuse, General Muhammad Buba Marwa, says the committee is devising preventive measures against the menace. Rayanu Bala reports that General Marwa was speaking in Yola on the mandate of the committee, saying that drug abuse must stop in the interest of development of the country.
Abuse, especially among the youths in the country, is a great concern to the government and the society as a whole. The recent inauguration of the Presidential Advisory Committee on the Elimination of Drug Abuse, therefore, is to profile solutions that will deal with the menace head-on. Chairman of the committee, General Muhammad Buba Marwa, says the committee is already intensifying effort through consultations with relevant bodies to address the ugly trend.
We will look at how the various agencies, Customs, NAFDAC, NDLEA, Immigration, and the others, how they interact, how they work together towards preventing drugs from getting into the country.
According to him, for any society to develop, youth must be engaged in productive ventures and avoid drugs, which the committee is committed to end it.
There's a poverty element, and the government is fighting, as you know, to get more jobs. N-Power, trader money, a lot of schemes, agriculture, so many schemes from the president towards getting more employment for Nigerians.
In Yola, Rayanu Bala, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. We take a break now. When we come back, all set for presidential campaign of the All Progressives Congress in Uyo. These and more after the break.
Going up? Of course you are. And why not? With Glow Internet, built on Africa's largest wholly owned metro fiber network, the sky is, well, it is rather unlimited. Up is upbeat, seamless. Up is quick and easy access to all your favorite apps and entertainment. And there is no downside on a network committed to upping your fun and productivity. Get quick on your uptake, my friend, and offset the odds in your favor. Because on Glow, up isn't an upgrade. It is the upgrade. Going up?
Upgrade to a 4G SIM for free and get 125% bonus. Also enjoy unconditional 25% data bonus non-stop on all auto renewals. Dial *777# to choose a plan.
Sensitivity is a short pain which occurs when teeth are exposed to hot, cold, or acidic things. Cold water from the fridge would trigger sensitivity. A lot of people would accept anyway and just grin and bear the pain. What I would say to the patient is switch to Sensodyne, make it your daily toothpaste. Over a period of time would reduce tooth sensitivity. And a lot of them come back to thank me, to say that, wow, it's just something so simple. It adds the sparkle back into their life.
The All Progressives Congress, APC, announces the official flag-off of the South-South Zonal Re-Election Campaign Rally for our presidential candidate and running mate, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, and His Excellency Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Venue, the Gospel Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Date, Friday, December 28, 2018. Time, 2 p.m. In attendance at this national event will be members of the National Executive Committee, the National Working Committee, led by the National Chairman, Comrade Adams Oshomole, national leaders of our great party, the governors, ministers, and our team members and supporters from all over Nigeria. Join us on this journey to the next level of a prosperous, strong, and stable Nigeria. APC, change. This message is brought to you by the National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Malam Lanre Isa Onilu.
Nigeria now still one of the few countries in number of pregnant women still they die from things when they're supposed to kill them high pass. Thank God for things like family planning or childbirth spacing, where they help reduce number of women where they die because of say they carry belle. When we plan and put space between the times we they carry belle, our mama and pikin them no go they die anyhow. If all the women we need within them fit use they control how they take get belle, what you they call contraceptives, then we fit prevent the death of about 1.5 million pikin them and 31,000 women inside the next 10 years. Our leaders, una need to settle this matter by making sure say family planning services reach every woman inside we country. No woman supposed suffer or die because she want born pikin. We must join hand and get it together, make our future for bright. Now Federal Ministry of Health, they bring on this message.
What's up?
His friends didn't come.
Hey, let's practice.
But you're going out.
Don't worry about me.
Nothing satisfies a mother more than seeing a child grow up. But I know as he sweats, he'll face the risk of germs which can cause skin irritation.
That's why you need the new best ever Dettol Cool. Its new advanced formulation with extra menthol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs and gives your family icy cool freshness.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
But 3G is great, 4G is better. You don't know what you're missing till you experience it. Buy an Airtel SIM to enjoy double data on Nigeria's widest 4G network.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
You in the air-conditioned office with the itchy throat. Strepsils. Girl in the spotlight with the raspy throat. Strepsils. You in the pollution. Yes, you. Dry throat. Strepsils. Hello in the downpour with the scratchy throat. Take Strepsils.
Strepsils, with its soothing medicinal ingredients, will heal the harm done to your throat from external factors.
Strepsils. Strepsils. Strepsils, for a dry, itchy, raspy...
We are here to invite you to our 2018 into 2019 crossover service titled Crossover Without Carryover. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be powerful. The presence of God will be tangible. The anointing will be heavy. The word will be strong. And there will be multiplied testimonies.
Amen.
At the Glory Dome on the Lord's Garden on the airport road of Abuja by 9 p.m. of Monday.
We look forward to seeing you. We want you to especially be our guest. And I know that your testimonies begin to resound from that night.
You will never remain the same.
Amen.
God bless you.
Amen.
In Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Thanks for joining us, and glad that you're still there. The 2019 general elections must be an improvement on elections conducted in 2015. This is the consensus of participants at an electoral security training, the trainers' workshop for officers of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Timothy Yusuf reports that the event was convened by the INEC Electoral Institute.
The tractable problem of insecure elections remains a threat to Nigeria's electoral democracy. But as the political landscape gradually changes, analysts believe that the time to plan towards a secure election is now.
We must get it right here. 2019 elections must be an improvement on 2015. As the Honorable Chairman of the Commission has always said, the ball is actually now in our courts. We must take up this challenge.
For INEC, credible, free and fair elections in the democracy is key to good governance and development.
If you go to the INEC website or you go to Google Play, you can download an INEC iReporter, which is something that INEC has spent a lot of money in developing, which allows every Nigerian to be an observer and a reporter of events as they happen. This you can download freely and have it on your smartphone. So you can take still pictures. You can also take a short video and send it to us. It is geo-reference. We know exactly where that issue is taking place, and we can easily draw the attention of police and security agencies to make sure that that matter is actually addressed.
A review of the Electoral Institute's training manual for a hitch-free 2019 general elections was also carried out on the sideline of this Train the Trainers workshop. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Any staff of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, found wanting in the discharge of his or her duties during the 2019 elections will face the full wrath of the law and serve as a deterrent to others. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu gave the warning in Abuja following previous cases where staff of the commission conspired with politicians to dent the image of the commission.
As we approach the 2019 general elections, the Commission will pay particular attention to the conduct of our own officials, from the headquarters to the state and local government areas, including ad hoc staff engaged in election duty. We will not tolerate the complicity of staff with political actors or their agents to subvert the electoral process. All officials of the Commission must remain neutral in the discharge of
electoral matters. NTA parties and the General NTA Yakubu Ibn Muhammad Radio presented a lecture in Abuja.
It is election coverage, as the television station plans to give the 2019 elections the best ever coverage in its more than 40 years of existence. Professor Iradia emphasized having a strong, experienced, vibrant and knowledgeable political desk that understands election processes. Voting, which is the top event in the activities that make up elections, Professor Tony Iradia said, is only a component which is preceded by very important other components which most media pay little attention to. He urged the information managers to improvise ways of surmounting challenges they are confronted with on a daily basis and avoid self-censorship and timidity.
Nowadays, what people do is that they just wait for voting. And once you do that, you've made a mistake. Preparing for coverage of election cannot start on the election year.
NTA's Director General Yakubu Ibn Mohammed said the organization is poised to ensure the best coverage of elections compared to what was obtainable in the past.
We are going to be fair and we are going to be equitable, but NTA is not going to organize events for any political party. We'll go out of our way, like the DD, said, even if we are not invited, we'll invite ourselves.
The interaction with Professor Iradia is part of the preparations by the NTA towards a professional and successful coverage of the 2019 elections. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Thank you, Olayinka. President Muhammadu Buhari would on Friday launch the 2019 presidential campaign of the All Progressive Congress, APC. According to the party's National Publicity Secretary Larry Issa Onilo, the president will use the occasion to present the scorecard of the administration and its successes on its three cardinal objectives, which include security, economy and fight against corruption. He will also outline his vision and programs for Nigerians for the next 4 years. Mariam Vincent Oko has this situation report from the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo, venue of the event.
to the venue of the APC presidential campaign flag-off shows that finishing touches were being put in place to ensure a smooth event. The various committees working for the success of the flag-off also had a joint inspection of the Godswill Akpabio 30,000 capacity international stadium.
The logistics in terms of expected crowds, how the crowds will be controlled, issues of security, all of those details have been worked upon.
It's very significant that he has decided to come and kickstart his campaigns for 2019 from the South-South and from Akwa Ibom State, and I can tell you, my people cannot wait to cast their ballots for him.
The Obong Sima-Ikere campaign office is also a beehive of activity as APC supporters thronged the office as they eagerly await the president's campaign team.
We are so happy and we can't wait to have it.
It's a sign of serious honor that the government of Buhari has done to Akwa Ibom people.
At the time, NTA News visited the Akwa Ibom State Police Headquarters, Ikodok-Panabia. A team of mobile police officers were seen arriving the command.
We've increased visibility policing around the metropolis, and the route lining will be very, very effective.
The campaign will feature the presentation of flags to the governorship candidates from the South-South region. In Uyo, Marian Vincent Oko, NTA News.
Now, the presidential candidate of the National Conscience Party, Dr. Yunus Atanku, has assured Nigerians of purposeful leadership that will transform the country if elected in the 2019 general elections. Issa Mohammed reports that the candidate gave the assurance at a campaign rally in Nasarawa State.
Atanku says SCP has the ideas that will bring the needed economic growth and development of the nation. He emphasizes on key issues of employment generation, industrialization, youth and women empowerment, and poverty reduction as areas of focus for the party. He calls on Nigerians to vote for NCP candidates for prosperity of the nation.
We will provide cottage industry for each of the local government so that way they can reduce the unemployment rate.
Other party stakeholders assure Nigerians of positive change if voted into office in 2019. The event featured presentation of party flags to standard bearers for governorship, senators, and House of Representatives. From Lafia, I am Issa Muhammad, NTA News.
The Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria has declared its support to the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, pledging to support him in his efforts to end farmers and herders' conflict. The association, at its 5th national stakeholders meeting taking place in Abuja, describes how the farmer-herders conflict is being politicized, dragging the name of the president into the crisis.
Representatives of more than 20 million members of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association at their 5th annual general meeting. The meeting is to discuss what the group described as critical issues affecting the development of the association and the plight of its members. As members discuss all these issues relating to 2019 general elections were raised, considering the fact that the major contestants of the presidential race, President Muhammadu Buhari and Atiku Abubakar, are members of the ethnic group. The meeting therefore resolved to go with President Muhammadu Buhari.
And you have heard the abuse. They were asked. They have declared their interest on General Muhammadu Buhari to go for to move to the next level. This is a majority decision of the Congress. We as leaders we have no option other than to follow.
Before the meeting, a rally was staged in Kefi, Nasarawa State, where the Fulani Socio-Cultural Association gave a pass mark to President Muhammadu Buhari. Surajo Abdullahi reports that the group pledged to vote massively for the president in the forthcoming general elections.
With this crowd, just for Nasarawa State, we have this Fulani Buhari all over 36 states, including FCT. So with this crowd, my mind is at peace.
The leadership of the association decried the way farmers-herders conflict is being politicized and thereby dragging the president into the crisis.
We have grazing reserves that we want Fulani to settle there. We want them to be in grazing reserve, which the work is ongoing. Over 500 million has been put there.
The leadership of the association therefore resolved to work with all relevant security agencies to fish out criminals amongst members, urging Farmers Association to take such steps. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosun, has flagged off his campaign for the Ogun Central Senatorial seat under the All Progressives Congress APC with a promise to provide quality representation to his people. Mohammed Adebowale reports that the governor also vigorously campaigned for President Muhammadu Buhari.
The campaign kick-started at the Panshake area of Abeokuta with various groups pledging their support for the election of Ibikunle Amosun as Ogun Central Senator come 2019. The Ogun Central Senatorial candidate and incumbent governor promised that if elected as senator, he will leverage on his wealth of experience, contacts and goodwill for the betterment of the people and never abandon his constituency.
My good people of Ogun Central Senatorial District, I seek to be your eyes and ears as the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me assure you that I will use this position to continue to develop our senatorial business and also support President Muhammadu Buhari in his untiring effort at developing Nigeria.
He enjoined the people to vote massively for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari in order for him to finish the good works he has started. The state chairman of APC, Deni Adibi, while presenting the party's flag to Ogun Central Senatorial candidate, enjoined the people to vote massively for Ibikunle Amosun, assuring that he will not disappoint his people.
Apart from God Almighty, you the masses hold the airs. You are the one that has been standing for this way.
The governor had earlier visited the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo, to pay homage to the traditional council. In Abeokuta, Mohammed Adebowale, NTA News.
We now join Dotun Ogunyemi for more stories from Lagos. Hello, dear Dotun.
And a warm welcome to Lagos. For many years, until recently, the user experience in Nigeria's aviation has been a far cry from the expected norm. A number of factors contributed to deny air travelers the joy of flying, but all these are being addressed with robust transformation in airports across the country. Elizabeth Wuga examines the aviation industry in 2018, its challenges and prospects.
The year ended with inauguration of the new multi-million-dollar terminal at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. President Muhammadu Buhari at the event said the new terminal designed to handle 15 million passengers annually.
The commissioning of this terminal, Nigeria is moving towards meeting global aviation standards in facilitation, passenger processing, and service delivery in tandem with international best practices.
If there's an airline that has an A380, it can come to this facility, for example, and can be handled once the phase 2 come into place.
Also during the year, the federal government implemented the ease of doing business at the nation's airport. The process of obtaining a Nigerian visa was also difficult as foreigners would navigate a maze of paperwork before and after arrival.
It's quite sufficient. They're thorough, they check everything, and if everything is in order, you get your visa.
The aviation industry in 2018 witnessed upgrading of infrastructures, completion of projects, and certification of the Lagos and Abuja airports. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria Fan Training School also got recognition and certification by ICAO as a security training center for West African sub-region.
ICAO validates the entity's ability to provide competency-based training.
The aviation industry also experienced some challenges in the year under review. These include lack of domestic airline to operate intercontinental flights and delay on the implementation of VAT.
Like all these charges, all these taxes, it doesn't apply.
What then are the prospects for the industry in year 2019?
Coming up with a new international terminal, a lot of roads will open up in the airport that will have a seamless operation.
The stability that we need for that growth is just what this administration has achieved.
Although Nigeria aviation industry has retained its place as Category 1 Federal Aviation Certification, it is expected that agencies, airlines, and stakeholders would consolidate on the achievements of 2018 to actualize the Nigerian airspace of our dream. In Lagos, Elizabeth Iwuga, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air Force says it will continue to collaborate with higher institutions in the area of research and capacity building to overcome its technical challenges. Chief of Standard and Evaluation, Nigerian Air Force Headquarters, Abuja, Air Vice Marshal John Baba, stated this at a meeting with management of some tertiary institutions in Lagos. Rotimi Oluwagbemi has details.
Air Vice Marshal John Baba, who led the team of Nigerian Air Force officers, was received by the management of Covenant University. He said the visit was necessary in order to renew the existing memorandum of understanding between the institution and Nigerian Air Force Research and Development. Some of the key areas of research collaboration, according to Air Vice Marshal Baba, include artificial intelligence, digital image processing, ICT, and software development.
We collaborate too. If they need maybe exchange of lecturers, please, you can always look at it and say, okay, this is towards national development.
We are working on the unmanned aerial project, unmanned aerial vehicles project, and one of our challenge areas is aircraft communications and control.
The Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Aaron Atayiro, expressed the willingness of the management to collaborate with the Nigerian Air Force in any area within its capacity.
To move it forward, bring up research proposals that will be vetted both by the corporate and maybe your team, and we think of the financing of them and we'll move forward on that.
The team inspected some facilities in the engineering department. A similar exercise was carried out at the University of Lagos. In Lagos, Rotimi Oluwagbemi, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Please stay with us.
What's up?
His friends didn't come.
Hey, let's practice.
But you're going out.
Don't worry about me.
Nothing satisfies a mother more than seeing a child grow up. But I know as he sweats, he'll face the risk of germs which can cause skin irritation.
That's why you need the new best ever Dettol Cool. Its new advanced formulation with extra menthol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs and gives your family icy cool freshness.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
The Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, hereby notified the public of the 2019 Public Service Examination PSE, scheduled to take place nationwide on Thursday 24th and Friday 25th January 2019. The fee payable by each candidate is 4,500 naira only. Prospective candidates are required to purchase the entry forms from any of the ASCON clients' organizations, complete it in duplicate and submit with 2 copies of recent passport size photograph for transmission to ASCON. All entry forms for the 2018 Public Service Examination must be submitted to ASCON not later than Wednesday, 20th December 2018, as late entries might not be accommodated. All enquiries should be directed to the Director of Administrative and Human Resources, ASCON, PMB 1004, Toko Badagry. Announcer, Director General, ASCON.
Cadbury Hot Chocolate 3-in-1, a delicious combination of rich cocoa and wholesome goodness of milk. Just add hot water to get an instant chocolatey treat that delights your senses. Cadbury Hot Chocolate 3-in-1. Just add hot water.
Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
What's up?
His friends didn't come.
Hey, let's practice.
But you're going out.
Don't worry about me.
Nothing satisfies a mother more than seeing a child grow up. But I know as he sweats, he'll face the risk of germs which can cause skin irritation.
That's why you need the new best ever Dettol Cool. Its new advanced formulation with extra menthol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs and gives your family icy cool freshness.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Let's tell you now of SCMD.
season's greetings from FCMB, my bank and I.
Sore throats, it's often caused by bacteria and viruses. Feels like you're having a party. You need Strepsils. It soothes the pain, plus it fights the germs with 2 germ-killing actives. Double power in 1 lozenge. Bye-bye sore throat. Take Strepsils.
What's up?
His friends didn't come.
Hey, let's practice.
But you're going out.
Don't worry about me.
Nothing satisfies a mother more than seeing a child grow up. But I know as he sweats, he'll face the risk of germs which can cause skin irritation.
That's why you need the new best ever Dental Cool. Its new advanced formulation with extra menthol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs and gives your family icy cool freshness.
Growing up needs dental protection.
Thanks for joining us and staying with NTA Network News. Reports just reaching us says in continuation of visits to families in Abuja, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo chatted with residents of the Games Village, emphasizing President Buhari's determination to ensure that the country remains on the right track to progress. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Just like the biblical visit, the Vice President's visit to some residents of the Federal Capital Territory is one that brings an assurance of more good things to come from the Buhari administration. At the Games Village, where Vice President Yemi Osinbajo met with Olatunji Sanwo's family, residents had the opportunity to have one-on-one chat with the Vice President. Some of them who spoke to NTA News expressed gratitude for the visit.
His effort for coming out to speak with each one of us, at least I appreciate that. That's something. So today I have the opportunity to speak for the Vice President of Nigeria. That's something, and I'm happy about it.
In his next 4 years, he is going to prove that Nigeria belongs to Nigerians, and he is going to do a very, very good job. With the coming in of the Vice President to my estate is something else, is a sign of a lift up to Nigeria, because this is the community of more than 6 to 7,000 people here. We have children and kids, and any angle we have from zone 1 to zone 5, and any street you go to, all the kids are saying 4 plus 4, which is 8.
Into politics, so assume office, it's very difficult to really meet with them and have one-on-one with them. But with programs like this, where the president, vice president meets with citizens, get to feel them, get to know, I think it's a welcome development. It's very nice.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo also had chat with residents of New Kushingaru, delivering the message of the president to continue providing security and opportunities for better living.
Muhammadu Buhari, now he wants to see how he go help common man, anybody where they work, where they try to look for work. He will look for how he go help them, how they go help them, make them find work, make them find money, do their work. If not farm you, they farm, how we go help you with your farming.
At Wuse 2, where the Vice President met with some youths and advised them to vote right, he expressed the determination of the President to continue the focus on youth empowerment that would guarantee a greater future. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
We'll now go to Kaduna for more on Network News. Hello, Suleiman.
Thank you very much, Jumai, and a warm welcome to Kaduna. An accident involving 2 trucks has occurred along Kaduna Zaria Highway, killing 3 persons and scores of animals. Abdullahi Muhammad files in the report.
We were told that this incident happened around 9 a.m. An eyewitness also told us that about 3 people died in one of the trucks. In fact, they said about 10 people were evacuated from the scene of the accident to the hospital. But unfortunately, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, this is the second time that this kind of accident is happening along these axes, and it is involving heavy-duty trucks like these ones.
After that, there were so many that happened.
One of the trucks was conveying 70 donkeys with scores left dead.
More worrisome for the owner of these donkeys is that he may face prosecution in Kaduna State as a result of a passage of a law prohibiting the movement or slaughtering of donkeys.
The situation on the highway was chaotic, with motorists trying to beat the gridlock by all means.
We are eager to pass. That's why sometimes it doesn't happen. Although the men of the Federal Road Safety Corps are fully in charge here, impatience from motorists will definitely lead to loss of man hours here. So many appointments will be disappointed. In Kaduna, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
Many thanks indeed, Abdullah. As part of strategy to carry everybody along and deepen good governance, Jigawa State Government has parleyed with civil society organizations to get their input in the act of governance. Awal Muhammad Kazori reports.
The aim of the convention is to share ideas and renew commitment towards full implementation of Jigawa Civil Society Declaration and adopt a work plan for 2018-2019. Governor Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, represented by Deputy Governor Ibrahim Hassan Hadeja, said Jigawa Forum serves as a think tank for the state in the formulation of development strategy. He said the forum will also promote the culture of planning and continuity in government policies. Jigawa State Development Forum was formed in 2007 as a non-governmental, non-partisan civil society organization to support government and people of the state in harnessing and deploying all available resources. Said civil society organizations are important for the purpose of political sensitization and mobilization that are needed to ensure democratic participation and good governance. In Duse, Awal Muhammad, NTA News.
And with that report is back to you, Jumbai, for more on the news.
Thank you, Suleiman. Moving on. President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria and Archbishop of the Benin Metropolitan See, Most Reverend Augustine Akebize, has once again brought the imperative of speedy dispensation of justice to the fore as he joined inmates of Benin prisons in a Christmas Day Eucharist Mass. Jude Aweke reports.
Bishop's visit to the Benin prisons is an annual event. This year's edition of the event was an opportunity for Most Reverend Augustine Akebize to preach the message of hope to the inmates.
I wish to appeal passionately to our judiciary to speed up the process of members of this facility who have been here for a long time without trial.
Gifts were presented to the inmates.
We cannot shy away from the truth. Benin prison remain grateful always to our Archbishop.
Archbishop Akebize had earlier at the Festival of Nine Lessons and Carols organized by NTA Benin asked all to be prayerful.
My dear friends, Christmas is the time to seek the truth that will set us free.
He's enjoined us to love one another and to maintain peace and harmony in our country, Nigeria.
We should never stop celebrating the birth of Christ.
In Benin, Jude Aweke, NTA News.
The Co-Marshal of the Federal Road Safety, Boboye Oyeyemi, has expressed satisfaction with the high level of discipline, dedication and commitment shown by the personnel of the Corps and most road users during the Christmas, calling for sustained zeal on the New Year operations. BC Kazim, Corps Public Education Officer, FRSC, in an express statement said an interim assessment of the Christmas patrol shows strict compliance by motoring public, keeping to the advice given by the Corps on obedience to traffic rules and regulations. The Corps Marshal urged everyone to remain on guard to achieve greater success in the continuing operations. We'll now take a break. When we come back, the news continues.
Arewa Consultative Forum in the Niger Delta States heartily welcomes the presidential standard bearer of the APC, President Muhammadu Buhari, and his entourage to Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, for the flag off of the APC presidential campaign. Mr. President, your commitment to tackle security concerns, fight corruption, and reposition the economy is unparalleled. The Arewa South-South Forum, with headquarters in Port Harcourt, is excited with your choice of the South-South for the flag off, a clear indication of your stance for a united Nigeria. One good hand, they say, deserves another. You're warmly welcome to the Niger Delta. Maraba, Ambassador Abdullahi Alpha for the forum.
You in the air-conditioned office with the itchy throat. Strepsils. Girl in the spotlight with the raspy throat. Strepsils. You in the pollution. Yes, you. Dry throat. Strepsils. Hello in the downpour with the scratchy throat. Take Strepsils. Strepsils, with its soothing medicinal ingredients, will heal the harm done to your throat from external factors. Strepsils. Strepsils. Strepsils, for a dry, itchy, raspy scratch.
This festive season, there's no place like home. Get a GoTV decoder and GoTenna and 1 month of GoTV Max subscription for only 6,900 Naira. GoTV. Live it, love it.
Reports coming in as Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has appealed to the Inspector General of Police to, as a matter of urgency, put in place mechanisms that will contain criminality in any form in Kwara State. Anthony Forson reports.
Along Ojoku Road in Ofa, the mobile police barrack will provide accommodation for the commander. 44 flats of 2-bedroom each, fitted with all the necessary conveniences. There is also an admin block with offices, conference room, security cells, armory with a guard post. Leading dignitaries to formally inaugurate the barrack, which has an epitaph bearing the names of the 33 people who were killed in the April bank robbery in the town, Lai Mohammed described as unfortunate and wondered how criminals have suddenly found sanctuary in the state.
It's unfortunate that Kwara State in recent time has become notorious for criminality. Kwara State in recent time has made headlines for wrong reasons.
It is to this end that he appealed to the Inspector General of Police to, as a matter of urgency, find a lasting solution to the problem, bearing in mind the approaching elections.
Those who witnessed what happened a few days ago in Ilorin would agree with me that cultists, hoodlums, hooligans, and brigands are still very much active in Kwara State.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled the family, emir and people of Katsina State over the death of his former teacher and a retired school administrator, Alhaji Sanda Kaita, Magajin Rogo of Katsina. A statement by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, President Buhari described his teacher as a man of highest character who will be remembered for his efforts to inculcate hard work and technical skills in his students. Now, a quick look at the weather for tomorrow.